Hi there, Teresa here from Mind's Eye Journals. Thank you so very much for your continued interest in my work. Let's talk about paper. I work with two different types of paper. I work with handmade paper and watercolor paper. This is the handmade paper. This paper is made out of old clothing, old cotton fabrics. So the cotton fibers are ground up real finely and made into a paper pulp, and then paper is pressed out of that. So it's 100% cotton and it's 100% acid-free and archival. I buy this paper in very large parent size sheets, and I tear the paper down to the various different sizes of the journals that I like to make. This paper, not only is it archival, but it's highly functional as well. You can use any ink on this paper, even Sharpies. You can use all kinds of different markers on this paper. I do recommend that you use an archival ink like the Uniball gel pen or a Sharpie. Those pens are fade proof. Well, I should say those inks are fade proof and they're waterproof. So you put it down on the page and it will be preserved forever. The other things that you can use on this paper is any dry artist medium. So charcoal and graphite and soft pastel, anything that's dry. If you're going to use wet mediums, then I would steer you towards the watercolor paper. The watercolor paper is always white, okay? And I have two different kinds of watercolor paper. I have a cold press and a hot press. The cold press has a tooth to it. The hot press is smooth as a baby's bottom. So it depends on what kind of finish that you're using. And also, all of you the fountain pen lovers out there, you're gonna want the hot press watercolor paper. You don't want the handmade paper because the fibers from the paper get kind of caught up in between the tines in your nib and can cause blotting, little paper tearing, and other little minor disasters for you. So fountain pen users, hot press watercolor paper. Cold press with a tooth to it is lovely for the painters out there. But this paper, no matter which one you choose, the hot press or the cold press, is super duper versatile. It's the most versatile paper in the world. You can use any medium in the world on this. Watercolors, of course, but also acrylics. You can use all of the mediums that I mentioned for the handmade paper, you know, the colored pencil and the soft pastel and graphite and charcoal and all of those things. But you know, acrylic paints looks really wonderful on this paper as well. You can use texturing mediums for your acrylic paints and put them in here. If you want to paint with oils, that's fine, but you'd have to leave the journal open for a couple weeks for it to dry, you know. But this really is the most versatile paper in the world, and it does not limit you to what you can use on the paper in your journal. So that is a very basic and general overview of the difference between the two paper types that I work with. As you browse through my website, you will see either the handmade paper options or the cold press watercolor paper or hot press watercolor paper throughout the various different designs and shapes and sizes and characters that are Mind's Eye Journals. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you around. Bye-bye.